everyone, I am Aigul Yeleussiz. I am a teacher at Taras Bilim Innovation High School. Today we are going to study travel vocabulary. Traveling is a word brimful of meaning, of course, but sometimes we maybe get confused how to use, which word to choose. Today we are going to try and understand which words are better. Using travel vocabulary. For example, how do you get to work? I travel by bus. Travel is a verb. So the meaning is traveling from one place to another. Let's imagine from point A to point B. We travel. That's it. That's the word traveling. So sometimes people say commute. Commute is also a very good word. Commute. For example, how do you get to work? I commute by bus every day. So that can be like a synonym to the word travel. Another word, traveling and travel. Travel we can use as a noun. Travel as a noun. So the meaning, the act of traveling from one place to another, usually for the short period of time. Short period. And we talk about general, just generally about traveling. That's it. There is another word, traveling. But traveling is usually an activity and not the travel like a noun. That's why in this context I don't like this word. Better use travel or another words. It's activity. So journey. As a noun, we use this word to express some long travelings. For example, how was your journey? How was your journey? My journey was long. It took me 3 hours by bus, or it takes 3 kilometers. So journey can be a distance from point A to point B, and also it can express time. Distance and time. If you want to ask about how long was your journey, or how much time does it take, so usually better to use this word, journey. That's clear. So journey, you can go to journey and make journey. Also we have a good saying, have a safe journey, have a nice journey. It's also truly English expression. This word sometimes can be used in metaphorical meaning to express a better progress in life. For example, spiritual journey. Or journey of recovery. There are 3 cases of coronavirus in Jambul district. And all of them are studying their journey of recovery. Journey of recovery here is used in a metaphorical way. Another word that we usually confuse is trip. trip as a noun. So trip means shorter act of traveling from one place to another, and usually we come back, so meaning traveling and returning. So let's imagine point A to point B. We travel, come to point B, and then return back to point A. So that could be the definition of this word: traveling from one place to another place and coming back. So usually it's for a quite short period of time. We use go on trip, and make a trip. For example, I went on a trip to Astana for 3 months. So it means I went there for a short period of time and I came back here to Taraz. Sometimes we have wrong usage of word travel and trip. For example, I bought the shirt on my travel to London. So this is the wrong version. We don't use travel with possessive pronouns. So here better to say I bought this shirt on my trip to London. Trip. So don't use possessive pronouns such as my, your, his, her, our, or their with the word travel. That's it. Now another word is tour. Tour is a noun. So tour, what is difference? So it means traveling from one place, let's say point A, to several places. For example, I visited B and C and maybe D. So the meaning, for example, if I say I had a tour to Europe, had a tour. The meaning is that I traveled to several places. I was in Belgium, I was in Prague, and perhaps I visited UK. You see? So tour means traveling to several destinations. That is different from traveling. Concerning traveling, we will also have one word, is expedition. So expedition we don't use much, but sometimes there are cases when we use it. Expedition. So for example, expeditions to South Pole, usually are not successful. So word expedition. Expedition we usually use when we talk about scientific purposes or some researching purposes. So it's a travel, but with scientific or research purposes. scientific research. That's it. That's expedition, short traveling. Another word that occur in this context could be an excursion. Excursion so excursion is a meaning is a trip in school or university with some entertainment or educational purposes. So, for example, my son went to school excursion to Taras Museum. So excursion usually school or educational purposes. School educational purposes. And the last word that I want to explain is the word wayfaring. So, how did you get to school? I usually use wayfaring to get to school. So, wayfaring, the meaning is to go on foot or like a wandering. Or going on foot. It can be also like a synonym to the word travel. Okay, thank you. That's all for today. If you know somebody who is struggling with this point in English language, why not to help them out? Just share this video. Thank you for studying with me today. Goodbye.